everybody. Welcome in. Let me know that you guys can see me and hear me okay. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about how to take your tarot practice to the next level. I'll be talking about our flash openings for both the Tarot Mastery Circle and Sacred Vision Society. I'll be answering any questions about either of those two programs that you guys have. I'll be showing you what's inside if you guys would like that. And so we have a really fun, awesome list of things to cover today, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. First off, for those of you who are on the Sacred Whispers Challenge, you guys are doing amazing. You're showing up. I know that some of these spreads have been hard. I personally cried on day 5. Anybody else? I've been doing it right along with you. I've been sharing a few things in the group with you guys. But I have been seeing all of your guys' readings. I know that I don't comment a lot on them because there's so many, but I do read them all through. So I'm just so proud of you guys for showing up. And I wanted to ask you guys, how has it been going? How are you feeling in the challenge? Are you excited? Have you been having a hard time? And I also want to say that, like, it's valid, no matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're experiencing, whether it's you're finding it easy or you're finding it hard, it's all valid, right? Some of you might be struggling a little bit with tarot meanings. That's really normal if you're brand new to tarot, if you haven't been practicing with it very much. And I see others of you helping in the chats and in the group to help people who aren't as familiar with tarot, to help them interpret their spreads and their readings. And so I am just so proud of you guys. All right, so let's catch up here with the chat. Please drop how it's going for you. If you're not in the challenge, that's okay. If you're interested in Tarot Mastery Circle or Sacred Vision Society, and you want to learn more, if you're watching the replay, feel free to skip ahead a little bit, because I am sending this out to everybody because we are doing this big flash opening right now. But we're going to be talking about tarot specifically at the beginning, and then I will be talking about the two offers a little bit later. All right, and you guys have submitted a bunch of questions that I'll be taking at the end. So all of the questions that were in the group this morning, I've added to the slideshow, and you guys can ask me some questions live here too. Okay, it sounds like you guys can hear and see me. That's good. Hello, hello. Brandy, I have not renamed the High Priestess Tarot School. It is still the same name. Oh, I haven't heard of Tarot Mastery Circle. It's pretty new. It's pretty new, Brandy. I'm so excited that you are having fun. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, Diane says, I'm so excited. The growth has been amazing and the support is monumental. I've been loving how engaged you guys are with each other. It has been so fun to watch. Do your two offers include joining the school? Are you talking about High Priestess Tarot School, Amber? So you can always join High Priestess Tarot School. There's no bonus for that right now. The bonuses for this challenge offer are for people who join Tarot Mastery Circle or Sacred Vision Society. However, you can join High Priestess Tarot School at any time. It's actually an open program, $7 a month. It's all about learning how to read tarot. However, SVS, Sacred Vision Society, and Tarot Mastery Circle are closed. So we are opening them right now. They're normally closed, so you have an opportunity to jump in if you want to. And also, you can get the bonuses as well. Oh, amazing. I had some trouble understanding day 6 cards. Day 6 was a little bit tough because the same thing is true when you're asking questions about like spirit guides and things like that. It requires, in the first video, I talked a lot about when you're using spreads, your card can either answer the question or it can give you a clue to the answer. So in spread 6, it was all about clues. Because it was a a different sort of spread, right? It wasn't asking questions about our internal self as much. It was asking questions about our familiars, our guides. And so those require that sort of creative leap from the card to using it as a clue to the answer. So it's probably the hardest spread that we did so far, especially for beginners or for beginner spread users. Welcome in, Diana. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so let me queue up my my slides real quick, and we'll go ahead and get started on the slides. If you haven't shared how it's going for you, feel free to share. And let's go ahead and get started, guys. So today we're going to be talking about what it really takes to move from trust to mastery. So you might be feeling like you're trusting your intuition more after these 8 days in the challenge. You might be noticing that you're not trusting your intuition, and that's okay too. Noticing that when you're in a challenge like this can be a really great next step. So if you're in a place to trust, we're really going to be talking about moving from trust to mastery. The two offers that I have for you, Tarot Mastery Circle and Sacred Vision Society, are a little bit more advanced than High Priestess Tarot School. So if you're in a place that you're not quite trusting your intuition yet, you're feeling like you're not really sure about the cards, that might be a really good first step for you. Or maybe Tarot Mastery Circle. I definitely recommend the tarot practice sessions for anybody who wants to accelerate their tarot practice faster. And the Tarot Mastery Circle includes tarot practice sessions. But so anyway, we're going to talk about what it really takes to move from trust to mastery. We're going to identify the next phase of your tarot journey or your spiritual business journey, whether that's practice, certification, business, or both, and learning what support is available, especially through me, to deepen your skills, to grow your vision, and choose the path that aligns with your sacred expansion. So if you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer questions along the way, right? Today. Yes, I will absolutely explain the differences between the two in just a little bit. I haven't been using a lot of spreads, but I love these challenges and spreads. So helpful to focus on specific topics rather than doing general readings. You're so welcome. Yeah, I talked about this a lot in the first video too, in that when we use spreads, we're forcing ourselves to ask and answer questions that we may not have done otherwise. And it really allows us to expand and grow a lot faster. So let's talk a little bit about me. So just in case you don't know me, my name is Sunny Sink. I'm the owner and founder of the High Priestess Tarot School's Sacred Vision Society. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I have had the High Priestess Tarot School since 2023. And actually, the High Priestess Tarot School was born from my community saying, we need you to teach us how to read tarot. I heard this so many times. I'm like, okay, I'm going to open up a school. I'm going to teach you guys how to read tarot. And they had specifically said, we want to know how to read tarot like you. So it's really funny because when I first created the High Priestess Tarot School, I created it as a way for people to read like me. I'm a certified health and life coach. I've been coaching for over 7 years. And I have a specific way that I like to do readings that includes conversation, more than prediction. And it's been a couple of years now. And this year, I started really understanding the fact that I wanted to not only teach people to read like me, which I've done in the High Priestess Tarot School, but I also wanted to help them read like them. So I actually created an entire course called the Tarot Your Way course. It's got 4 videos. I teach you about 4 different archetypes, how to find your own unique archetype for reading. And that's a totally free program, guys. And I added that to the High Priestess Tarot School because I started recognizing that, yes, I taught people to read like me in the course, but I want you to be able to take all of that and read like you, because we're all different. We're all on our own intuitive journeys, and we all have different connections and different intuitions. Anyway, I'm the creator of more than 20 courses, tools, and trainings. I've been guiding 450 members or more across 2 communities. And I've had thousands of people now. I think nearing 4,000 people have gone through the High Priestess Tarot School. Um, all right. Let's talk about the keys to tarot mastery. So, when I think about what it takes to master tarot, the number one thing is practice. It doesn't matter what area of life, we always want to be confident, right? We want to be confident in lots of things. We're like, I want to be confident in this. And I think a lot of times we just expect ourselves to be confident. But if you look at the areas in your life where you are confident, which I'm sure there's at least one area in your life that you're confident, it's because you've done it over and over again. So one of the biggest keys to tarot mastery is practice. You've got to do it over and over again before you become confident, just like anything else. I think that this is very important. And when I opened the High Priestess Tarot School, I actually opened Tarot Practice Academy, which has been since rebranded as Sacred Vision Society. But I opened the Tarot Practice Academy specifically. The only thing it had in it when it first opened was tarot practice sessions, because I knew that I wanted to offer people a place to practice, because this is so, so important. And so right away, we had the tarot practice sessions. I had tarot spreads every single week. And then basically that original version of the Tarot Practice Academy is what has stemmed from Tarot Mastery Circle. So Tarot Mastery Circle includes the High Priestess Tarot School, it includes practice sessions, and it includes weekly spreads. So it's basically like the original version of the Tarot Practice Academy. But, our students in the Tarot Practice Academy needed more. They were starting businesses. So I started doing business trainings and all of this. And it just became so much bigger. And I noticed that it was attracting more than just tarot readers. So that's why we rebranded to Sacred Vision Society. We have all sorts of spiritual business owners there doing all sorts of different spiritual businesses. And I just kept growing in the features for the Sacred Vision Society. Back then it was Tarot Practice Academy. And so the price just kept going up and up and up. And so what I did is I created the Tarot Mastery Circle as a way for people to be a part of the High Priestess Tarot School, not commit to their business or to having a business, maybe not even wanting that certification, but they just wanted the practice. This is such an important part of learning tarot and growing in your tarot skills. Structure is really important too. Learning to read with rhythm, learning to allow yourself to see the cards in a lot of different lights. I think that how I have structured Tarot Mastery Circle and also Sacred Vision Society, and in that I'm giving you guys a weekly spread, helps you to learn how to read your cards in lots of different ways. When you use spreads, you get to see a card in so many contexts. So you start to notice how a card reacts in a lot of different contexts. And it really helps your growth exponentially. Also, community. I think that this is so important when we're on any sort of growth journey. A lot of times the people around us are not very supportive of our growth. And so having a community around to help us cheer us on and hold us accountable is so important. And I personally wouldn't be where I'm at if I hadn't made sure to surround myself with community throughout my own growth journey. And I'm really happy to do my best to provide a really amazing community experience with good positive energy and so many amazing community members. So by the way, for all of you guys who are here, who are in my community, thank you for being incredible community members. And then lastly, integration. It's not something that you're going to snap your fingers and you're going to know right away. It's a practice. Tarot is something that we grow. Like, there's never a time that you're going to be like, yep, my tarot journey is over. Like, I already know everything I need to know about tarot. Because the thing of it is tarot is a relationship. It's a relationship with the cards. It's a relationship with yourself. As your relationship with yourself changes, your relationship with your cards change. So your relationship with tarot will always, always be changing. So yes, integrating, but also understanding that this is something that's always changing and always shifting, and you're always learning and always a student in tarot. I'm just going to check in with your guys' comments. Oh, Diane says, I love that I can read my way and add my specialties to reveal layers of deeper meaning. Yeah, Diane. And one thing that I noticed too about people who come to the tarot practice sessions like Diane has is you more quickly understand how you read. You also get to be with other students. You get to read with other students. You can read by yourself or with somebody else. You get to choose when you're in the sessions. But I feel like the people who have come to the tarot practice sessions are the people who really find themselves in their own tarot practice fast. Amazing, Diana. Yes, yes, everybody does interpret things different. Oh, thanks, Brandy. You love the Circle app. I really like it too. I'm glad that we have everything in one place, and I'll show you guys that too if you guys would like a little sneak peek. Right. Yeah, you felt lonely until now. Absolutely. We need community on this journey. I'll show you the Circle community. Our platform is on Circle. It's not only a course, but it's also a community platform as well. Yes, Diane, it is a lifetime study. Yes, yes. Hi, Vanessa. Okay, next, the power of community. So why I would love for you guys to share, even if it's just during this challenge over the 8 days, how has community impacted you? So I have put together this little list of things that I think is really special when you have a community. And that's that you get to share your journey with others. There's people who get you. There's people who are on the same journey as you. So many of you guys on the post in the group about blocks to your intuition said, oh my God, it's so good to see that other people are feeling this way too. So not only do you get to share how you're feeling and what you're going through, but you also get to see how others are going through, what others are going through, so that you don't feel so alone. You really get to share that with people. Oh, Sarah says, I love the tarot practice sessions. They really help me connect with the cards and others. I love getting others' perspective on tarot. Yeah, it's really cool because you get to see how, well, not only do you get to see how other people read, but you get readings done for you every week. Honestly, for $27 a month or $49 a month, you get 4 readings a month. That's pretty amazing. Like, I don't know anywhere else where you can get 4 readings like that. They're from students, but it's still really cool that you get to get read for. Oh, Elizabeth says this has felt like a safe space to express my interpretations and have great feedback from the community. Amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Also be witnessed in your growth. There's something that happens when you declare something publicly. There's actually science behind this. If you declare a goal, if you declare something that you're stepping into, you're so much more likely to achieve it. This is scientifically proven. So when you're witnessed in your growth, when other people are cheering you on for that next level of yourself, you're more likely to achieve that. You're more likely to stay consistent and inspired. You're more likely to share your practice and your rhythms. You can be inspired by other people's shares. How many of you guys have felt like you learned something about a card based on somebody else's reading throughout this challenge? You can receive reflections from others that deepen your trust and your own tarot journey. And you can build confidence through sacred feedback. And honestly, this is really worded when it comes to tarot and tarot practice, but this is the same when it comes to building your business. You know, it's so good to know that other people are building their businesses alongside you, that you have community when it comes to building your business, that you have people to share with. That building a business can be pretty hard. So you get to share with them your struggles and see that other people have similar struggles, and you can learn from other people about how they dealt with that and how they moved through it. So for me, I think community is absolutely necessary when you're on any sort of growth journey. Oh, absolute validation. Yes, it is okay to be bold. I have absolutely learned from others in this community. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So let's also talk just a little bit about starting or growing a tarot or spiritual business. So, the thing about tarot specifically, but a lot of different spiritual businesses, is you can do it from home and you can do it with very little upfront cost. And you can, yeah, like you can work your own hours. You can do it part time on top of a job. You can build it. On the side. There's so many amazing things when it comes to having a business in tarot. And so, if you are somebody who is thinking about a tarot business, drop a little drop something in the chat. Let me know if you are thinking about a spiritual business or a tarot business, and even like why would you like to build a business? For me, I wanted to build a business because I wanted to help people. So for me, that was my number one goal. It's still my number one goal, is to make a difference in the world. And I think a lot of you guys who have spiritual businesses, you are the exact same way. It's all about the impact that we get to make on the world, to get to make somebody's life a little bit brighter than it already was. And so for me, that is my number one thing. But, I love working from home. I love setting my own hours. I absolutely love not having to answer to a boss. I get to be the boss. I mean, it's just a game changer. I don't know if I could ever go back after owning my own business. Yes, I love that. Yeah, you get to see everybody's style, don't you? I would like to build a business because I'm passionate about helping others, and I also want to supplement my income. Absolutely. You can support your clients. The cool thing about tarot is you get to support your clients while deepening your own intuition. Any intuitive business, honestly, you get to grow with every single interaction. I remember in my coaching school, they said, every time you coach somebody, you're coaching yourself. And I thought, that's kind of silly, but I saw it. I saw it happen. I saw myself giving advice or asking somebody a question that I should be asking myself, or I could be asking myself because I don't say shit, that I could be asking myself. And I'd be like, oh. So every time I coached, every time I do a reading, I get these insights that were meant for me too. You get to work part-time. You can turn your practice into income and build a business rooted in service, spirit, and soul-led business. I want to build a business to join my career with revolution tarot brings to people. Absolutely. Healing and magic. Yeah, I'm there. It's just the tech stuff. I have a lot to say and offer. I just don't know how to get my message to those it's intended for. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of tech, right? I remember even I had been in business for years when I started the High Priestess Tarot School, but I had to learn ClickFunnels and integration. So I use Make for my integrations. I had to learn about Facebook ads and how to use them and how to monitor them. Like, there's been so many things that I've learned since starting a membership that I didn't need to know as a coach or even just as a tarot reader. And it can feel really daunting. But the thing of it is, Diane, is I was able to just keep going. If you just force yourself, and let me tell you what, it felt like I was forcing myself. If you just do it, you will learn it, and it'll be a little slow at first, but before you know it, you'll be using that tech like you were always using that tech. All right. So let's talk about the two offers that we have. So Brandy said, what's the difference between the two? Tarot Mastery Circle is an extension off of High Priestess Tarot School. So the High Priestess Tarot School is where you learn how to read tarot. And I do have a bit of a breakdown on the High Priestess Tarot School. I can even show you what's in the High Priestess Tarot School as well. But Tarot Mastery Circle is just an add-on to the High Priestess Tarot School that includes weekly tarot practice sessions and weekly themed spreads. So we have 4 times per week that we have tarot practice sessions. You're allowed to come to one. They're currently on Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time and 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Oh, we have 3. And Saturday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So we have those 3 times. But if We have new students who enroll that need a new time. I'm more than happy to add another class, maybe even take away one of the classes that we have. So I'm more than happy to work with you guys on time when you join, if you need a space for one of those tarot practice sessions. Okay, so you're going to get a weekly spread, and you're going to get access to those tarot practice sessions. Also, if you purchase or if you enroll during this flash opening, you're going to get the spreads vault, and I'll show you that in just a minute. It is 30 spreads. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Sacred Vision Society is for somebody who wants to take it just a little bit further. So maybe a tarot reader who wants to get certified. We have the certification path in the Sacred Vision Society, but we also have a lot of business trainings in there. We have weekly business coaching. We have 48-hour business feedback. I have a resource vault with 40 plus templates, tools, and rituals for business owners. And you also get access to the High Priestess Tarot School in both of these. And if you enroll in Sacred Vision Society, you will get the 30 spread vault, plus you'll get a free 40-minute one-on-one business audit session if you enroll right now during this enrollment period. So let's talk about both. Here is the spreads. So the spread vault is 30 sacred spreads for intuitive blocks. So I took a really good hard look at all of the blocks that you guys have been experiencing in your intuition. And I have created 30 spreads for you guys for those blocks. So we have 10 spreads for calming the overthinking mind, 10 spreads for rebuilding self-trust, and 10 spreads for reading for others without fear. So if you choose to jump into either of these, you will get this 30 spread pack. If you join Sacred Vision Society, you're also going to get a free 40-minute call with me. That is to help you audit your business. So why don't, since we're here, who wants to see the part of our course group, the part of our group that's all about Sacred Vision Society? We can pop on in there. I can show you what it's like. Let me jump into the community real quick, and then I will share that with you. Oh, I'm so glad you love the bonuses, Brandy. Oh, Amber, I'm trying to start a business incorporating hypotherapy, tarot reading, and psychic and mediumship. That's amazing. I'd love to have you join SVS and come to the business calls every week. Okay, so let's pop it open. So this is the Circle community. By the way, there is an app, so you can use your app to access the community as well. In the community, all of these spaces are places with content, discussion areas. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit about each of them. This is the Start Here space. This is where I tell you how to make the most of your experience. I talk you through the platform. I walk you through how to manage your notifications. I talk a little bit about the program and where to get started. There's some bonus resources. These are available for anybody who joins the High Priestess Tarot School. And so here's the Tarot Your Way Vault, which is totally free. Even if you're not in the High Priestess Tarot School, you can always feel free to reach out to me. I'll send this to you. We have the 2025 Tarot Planner. This is a digital planner that's totally free for all of our students. We have 10 elemental tarot spreads. We have 10 powerful tarot spreads for beginner. We also have tarot flashcards. So for those of you who don't have a deck, or maybe you don't want a deck, or maybe you want to learn first using more of a flashcards-based system, we also have the tarot flashcards for you. So these are totally printable. You can print them from home. I do have a really easy print for just like 6 per page. We've also got like a bunch of different backs to choose from. I forget how many, 20 different backs that you can choose from. I walk you through how to print it out. So there's instructions there as well. So that's for people who either don't want to pay for a deck yet or until they finish, or maybe you just want to use these instead of creating a study deck. So next, all of these spaces are for the High Priestess Tarot School. We have events here. We have the course for the High Priestess Tarot School. It looks a little different for you guys. Since I'm an admin, it looks kind of funky. So we have 32 lessons in the High Priestess Tarot School. I'll show you guys a quick graphic of all of the steps of the High Priestess Tarot School as well. But each of these has at least a video and one resource inside. You can see that some of them have homework as well, where I walk you through step by step how to read tarot. We have a discussion space where you can post, just like Facebook. It's really very much like a Facebook feed. Every month, I come up with some digital downloads for you guys. These are all of the freebies that we're offering right now. We have a 2025 moon calendar. It's unicorn themed. We have some self-love prompt cards. These are like power questions. So if you watched the first video, I talked a lot about power questions. We've got Instagram highlight covers, self-love power questions. So these are the same, but just in different format. I have some stock photos for people who want to use them for their business, and also some self-love spreads. So I think there's 10 spreads in this one. I don't remember how many there is, but I can check real quick. There's 18 pages, so probably around 15 spreads here for self-love. So every month I do a few freebies because I just love you guys so much. We have a tarot symbolism challenge. So if you wanted to dive in, you could actually still do the challenge, even though it is finished. You can follow each of the daily prompts. You can really dive into your symbolism of your cards. So that challenge is still up here in the group. We also have every single card in a space right here. So if you're ever struggling with a card, you can always pop on in. You can say, okay, here's the Emperor. Here are the keywords. Let's talk about the Emperor. So not only do you have what I've posted about the Emperor, but we also have things that our students have posted as well. So you can read about what our students have said about the Emperor. So this is a great place to go when you want to discuss an insight that you had about a card, or when you want to see what others have posted about a specific card. So that, especially if you're struggling with your meanings. We also have all of these other courses here. Instead of looking at them there, let's look at them this way because we can see them a lot better. So in the High Priestess Tarot School, it includes the High Priestess Tarot School, which is all about how to read tarot. We've got the Magic of Tarot and Astrology, which is combining tarot and astrology together. The Esoteric Key is all about symbolism. Enlightened Priestess Path is all about your energy, protecting your energy, energetic sovereignty. Prosperous Priestess Path is how to make money in tarot. So this is all about the first steps that you need in your tarot business. This is very good for tarot business owners. It can be used for spiritual business owners as well. But it's specifically created for tarot business owners. We also have Majestic Priestess Path because I actually did this training because so many of our people had been with us for a while and they were still saying, I still don't get the core cards. So this is a full 3-day experience that I just talk all about the core cards to really help you guys understand the core cards. So all of these are included in the High Priestess Tarot School. In Sacred Vision Society, you have 2 more courses. So we have a new course, which is called the Sacred Vision Society, which is all about decoding your sacred vision. So let's talk a little bit more about that, because this is the heart of Sacred Vision Society. In 2025, I decided I was going to put more intuition into my business. I'm intuitive. I've been intuitive for a really long time. I listen to my intuition. I've been listening to my intuition in my business, but this was an effort to more intentionally weave it through my business. So at the beginning of 2025, I started to look at ways that I could infuse my business with my soul. And I created this meditation to pull out from our subconscious that future version of us, that future business version of us. So when I talk about sacred vision, I'm not talking about, oh, I want to make $5,000 a month and I want this and I want that. It's not that. This comes from within, and it's full of symbols. So I walk you through a meditation where you're going to see a door and you're going to see symbols and you're going to get a message from your future self, your future business self. And then basically we take that message and we decode it. We decode the message completely. And then we bake that frequency into every single thing that you do in your business. So that's what this course is all about. It's also called the Soul Strategy Map right now, but I will be building into each and every one of these. So we've got tune into your sacred vision, embody the vision, root the vision, decode the vision. So the first couple of steps are really looking into not like where do you want to be in 5 years vision, but your deeply held subconscious vision that's already inside you. And then we start to decode the vision and put it into your brand, into your design. We put it into your digital presence, your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, whatever platform you're using. Then we really refine your brand voice. We take that vision and we put it into your brand voice so that you are actually resonating with your soul and that future part of you. We talk about claiming your unique message. One of the biggest things that I've struggled with along the way is understanding what my message is as a business owner. And so this has been incredible for me to really think about what is that unique message that's unique to me. This whole framework is absolutely unique to me because it came from my vision. Does that make sense, guys? I'm not copying somebody else's vision. I'm not copying somebody else's business. I'm not copying somebody else's framework. It all came from me. Defining your personal transformation. So understanding, okay, what was my beginning point? Where am I now? We clarify your signature framework. We look at your content. We look at, how often. We look at how to protect your energy. When it comes to spiritual business owners, especially, it's so important that we are able to embody the frequency that we know that is going to bring in our clients. So then we work on offers here. We launch our offers, and then we reflect and we refine. By the way, I have future content that will be showing up in this course as well, not just in these sections, but actually when it comes to scaling. So I will have an entire section all on scaling as well that will be added to this course. Does anybody have any questions on that? In addition to that, in SVS, we also have the Tarot Practice Academy course. So this is the course that I created before I was baking my intuition into every bit of my business. So this is still business sound strategies that are contained in the Tarot Practice Academy course. We've got some advanced reading skills. We've got how to start your tarot business. We have social media. We have creating your offers. I have a lot of templates in here. Like I said, these are still really sound lessons. They're just not baked into your soul's vision like Sacred Vision Society is. I just want to see if you guys have any questions before I keep going. Oh, Vanessa says the Sacred Vision is a game changer. Yes, it is. I wish I had this vision earlier for my own businesses because it's like you're drawing yourself forward. You're connecting with that future version of you, and you're forcing yourself. How many of you guys have heard you have to become the version of you that already has it? This is how you do that. This is how you become that version of you that already has it. You have to tap into that version. You have to figure out what that frequency is. And then not only are you becoming the frequency, but your business is becoming the frequency. Yes, yes, yes. This is helping me visualize where I want to be. It's not clear yet, but I feel it coming. Yes, I love that. Oh, James. Yeah, it's different, right? When it comes from your soul, when it comes from your heart, like it's different. Like I'm literally getting goosebumps just telling you guys about how amazing it is to infuse this vision into your business. It's magical. Yes. I keep building, Randy, and I'll keep building. That's what I do. I build courses and I listen to what you guys want and I build what you guys want. I will always stay building. I promise. Okay, so those are the courses that are in the Sacred Vision Society. Let's see. We've also got the Resource Vault. So the Resource Vault is 40. I have the password here. So let me get into the vault. Okay, adding it back. So the password is right there with the link. And then you can jump into the vault. We have some tarot skills, tarot spreads. We have some oracle cards, some affirmation cards, and spiritual business. We've got some coaching. We've got some templates, some business cards, some mock-ups. I feel like spiritual business is the biggest of all the categories. So this is a little bit of a sneak peek here. We've got Tarot Reader Code of Ethics. We have Instagram templates. We have Client Attraction Checklist. Affirmation cards. We've got lots of tarot mock-ups, guys. So many tarot mock-ups for your social media. There's tarot spreads. There's a spiritual business website. We have 365 days of social media, event calendar, business cards, so much stuff in here. Like I said, there's more than 40 things. For coaching, we have coaching worksheets, we have brand boards, we have agreement templates. Let's just go to the tarot skills and the tarot spreads. We have a guiding light self-evaluation form that you can use for your tarot, a symbolism journal. You guys also get a symbolism journal in the High Priestess Tarot School that is a little bit more updated, but it's the same journal, just a little bit different look. And then for tarot spreads, we currently have 3 packets of spreads here: shadow work, confidence, and sacred success business spreads. So that's the Resource Vault. And you guys can also request. So you can request a resource right here. So if there's something that you need for your tarot or for your business, you can always feel free to request a resource. In addition, we have the Tarot Reader Certification in Sacred Vision Society, and we also have weekly spreads. The weekly spreads in SVS are really laid out so that you can pull from them. These are all of the spreads for always. So you get access to every single spread that I've created since Tarot Practice Academy started in 2023. And so, 52 per week. Does it say how many posts there are? I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of them. Okay, so now we're done with Sacred Vision Society. That's everything that's here in the platform. Let's talk about tarot mastery. Okay, so in Tarot Mastery, you're going to get all of the High Priestess Tarot School stuff. So everything through here, all of these bonus trainings, the High Priestess Tarot School training, and then you also get access to this one other space. In this space, you have access to the tarot practice sessions, and you have access to the weekly spread. So all you have to do is pop in here to get your weekly spread. You can click going. You can click to join the virtual event. We do hold it over Zoom. You have the option to read for yourself or to read for somebody else. So if you're not feeling confident reading for others yet, you can always read for yourself. We have a lot of people that do that for their first few times until they start to feel more comfortable in the community and ready to read for others. Okay, so we also just breezed through Tarot Mastery Circle. But let's go ahead and get back into this. So I also did want to talk just a little bit about the High Priestess Tarot School. You guys saw all of the course, the 32 lessons and stuff like that, but these are the major steps. So whether you study with me or whether you study on your own or with someone else, these are what I believe are the main steps when it comes to learning tarot. Step 1 is the foundation, the major arcana, the minor arcana, and the core cards, really understanding the differences between the different types of cards in the deck. After that, we talk about card meanings. In the course, I walk you through every single card meaning. I teach you to create a study deck, which is the absolute best way I learned to read tarot, because I tried for a while. And until I put keywords on my cards, I was just like struggling. So I teach you the guys the same way that I learned how to read tarot, and the same way that I was like literally able to read tarot within days of labeling my deck. Next, we talk about readings, then we talk about readings for others, and then we talk about intuition and intuitive readings. Then we talk about how to strengthen your intuition and how to believe in your magic, because this is something that really holds people back, is like not necessarily believing in themselves. And actually, in the believing with your magic section, let me show you guys. Can I close this thing out? There we go. I actually have a little bonus section in there that for those of you who aren't a part of the High Priestess Tarot School, I couldn't even do my first live. It was so hard for me to even go live for the first time. This was back in 2017. I thought, how can I be a coach if I can't even go live? So I created this Stepping into the Spotlight for people who are like me. So if you want to have a business and you're like, I don't know how, I'm too shy, this is exactly what I did to start to get over that with myself. So I gave you guys some tools here, and I talk a lot about my own experience and my tips in terms of, being able to step into that spotlight. So I think that this is a really cool part of the course as well. Any questions, guys? Any questions about the offers? Let me go ahead and pop this back on. If you are looking at the two options and you're having a hard time deciding, I want you guys to know that you can always reach out to me, whether you DM me on Facebook or reach out to me via email. Feel free to let me know. We can chat about it a little bit. We can figure out which is most aligned for you, if this is something that you'd like to do next. So now we're on the Q&A portion. So feel free to drop any questions, guys, and I will prioritize your guys' questions here live first, and then we'll get into all of the ones that are pre-submitted in the group. Oh, thank you so much, Brandy. The password isn't a password. Yes, it's so nice, Diana. It's so nice. Okay, so let's start with this question. And then, like I said, I'll prioritize your guys' live questions first. But since you guys don't have any right now, let's just jump into the Q&A. So this question says, suggestions, advice, spreads, etc. when needing direction or answers to specific urgent questions. Getting conflicting info or cards that cancel each other. Maybe that means there is no answer or I'm not meant to know, yet it makes me doubt myself and intuition when this happens. Yes or no type pulls don't feel right either. Yeah, I personally don't like yes, no pulls, especially when it comes to needing direction for a specific urgent question. I think the more and more that you work with your cards, the more you build a relationship with each card and you start to understand how that card communicates with you. So I think one of the things that I would say is maybe adding meditation to your practice when it comes to getting this direction or answers to specific urgent questions. Because the thing of it is, when it comes to decision making, it's not all intuition. It's logic. It's intuition. I don't necessarily recommend talking to other people about it unless it's somebody who's been through it and you like where they're at now. If you know somebody who's been through that thing and you appreciate where they're at now and you want to be like them, then you can ask them for advice. But I would recommend not asking people for advice or even listening to any advice that you get from somebody who's not where you want to be. So I say there's a bit of a logic, there's a bit of an intuition. So when it comes to logic, this can be pros, cons. This could be thinking through possible consequences of your decision, what you're willing to, what boundaries you might need to put up when it comes to each of the different decisions. And then you can look at your deck and meditation and journaling. I think all of these are really good ways to make a decision and none of them should be used in isolation. So if you make a fully, purely logical decision, you're completely counting out your intuition, right? We don't want to do that. But we also don't want to only use our intuition and discount our logic. So I think it's interesting right here because in this comment, you had said something like in the thread, you'd said something about intuition and logic, but I honestly think that they're both necessary. And maybe that's what your cards are trying to tell you. So maybe they're not canceling each other out. In fact, I never look at cards as canceling each other out. I always look at them as an added layer. So if you feel like your cards cancel yourself out, ask yourself the question, how can these both be true? Life is about paradoxes, as is tarot. And so sometimes we might be invited to lean into the paradoxal existence of life and paradox within our life. So in terms of spreads, it's really important to ask good questions. So, like you said, yes or no's don't feel very good. I don't like yes or no's either. So, it could be questions like, if I choose this, what's going to be something that I don't like that's going to happen? What could be an energy that comes through if I choose this? What could be a negative energy? What could be something that I don't like? Something that I do like? You can also, I'll be doing a spreads training tomorrow. So tomorrow there's a bonus spreads training. I'll be walking you through how to brainstorm your spreads on ChatGPT. I'll also talk about how I make my spreads as a coach based off of my coaching training. So I have specific way that I like to create my questions based off of my coaching background. So I'll be talking about that a little bit more. So tomorrow I will be talking about spreads, and if you like, I will specifically talk about decisions. Absolutely. Okay, next up, I see others use 2 decks, Oracle and Tarot, or 2 Tarot, or 2 Oracle. What is the best way to utilize 2 decks? So a lot of the answers to these questions, guys, are going to be your intuitive practice is your own intuitive practice. And the best way to know what you love is to try different things, to see what other people are doing, to try them and see how they feel. Do they feel clunky? Do they feel natural? Do they feel exciting? Do they add to your practice? Do they feel distracting? This is how we understand our own unique way. So no matter what, like the person who taught me Oracle cards, I worked with a woman. I got certified in Oracle cards, and I worked with her, and she told me, okay, you need to spread them down on your table, and then you need to use your left hand because it's your non-dominant hand, and you need to feel for a tingle. And when you feel that tingle, you pull it. I tried that, and it never felt good for me. So I just started trying different shuffling techniques. And before you know it, I had my shuffling technique that I've been using now for years. So it's about there's never a wrong or a right way to do anything. That's what I'm going to say first off. And this is going to apply to a lot of the questions that we have here on the slides. But I can tell you how I like to use 2, and that is, so for example, in Magic and Intuition Mastery, I do readings every month for our students, and I use 1 Oracle card and 6 tarot cards. What I like about it is I think of the Oracle card as like an overall theme of the reading, and then the tarot cards build off of that Oracle card. So that's how I like to use it. But I've seen lots of different people use it in lots of different ways. Like maybe they put down 6 tarot cards and each tarot card is attached to an Oracle card. So each of the cards actually has 2 meanings. And honestly, I love mixing energies like that because that's what you're doing. You're taking the Oracle cards energy and the tarot cards energy and you're mixing them almost like a little cauldron. I love that. I think it's fun. It's not my practice, but I've seen people do it and they really like it. The one thing that I would also suggest is not to overcomplicate things too early. Adding an Oracle card to your readings that's just like an overall advice from one of your favorite Oracle decks isn't going to overcomplicate your reading too much. But if you're doing a 6-card reading and you're adding 6 more cards, so you have 12 cards to read as 6 and you're a beginner, that might feel really, really like too much. So allow yourself to grow into some of those more complicated practices as well. Okay, next question. Can your deck absorb too much of your energy so that they seem to be saying what you want to hear? Or if the same cards keep coming out in different readings after good shuffles, etc., should I take this as something they're trying to get through to me? Yeah, I would definitely take it as something that they're trying to get through to you. There's a lot of different beliefs, and I don't tend to speak about my own spiritual beliefs, right? Because it's not my job to tell you what to believe spiritually. I want you to decide what you want to believe spiritually, but I'll tell you kind of my take on this. And I think that this is a very popular take in the tarot world, and that is synchronicity. So we are always, this is my belief, we are vibrating on a specific level, on a specific plane. We have these energies and vibrations that are within our field, right? So when we ask a question and we pull a card, we're going to be drawn to the card that answers that question synchronistically, which means it matches. It's a frequency match. So if you believe in manifestation, if you believe in the secret, this is the same basic principle that like what frequency you're vibrating at is the frequency of the card that you're going to get when you're pulling a random card. So I like to look at it like that. It's like if you're getting the same card over and over, it's because you're at that frequency right now. Maybe that's an advice that you're really leaning towards, that future version of you wants to take, right? That's like where your intuition is pulling you. That's how I like to think of it. When it comes to like can your deck absorb too much of your energy? I don't think that's possible. I think that we can infuse our energy into a deck, and that just makes it more ours. It just makes it more like infused with us. Now, also, when it comes to the deck saying what you want it to hear, that is just human nature. We will always read our cards as something that we need to hear or want to hear, unless we force ourselves not to. It is human nature to validate our biases. So we will always validate our biases through our cards, whether we're reading for ourselves or whether we're reading for somebody else, unless we actively work to not do that. Unless we actively work on allowing different perspectives than our own biases to show through. It's just human nature. It's just what we do. And it's okay. It's okay to validate yourself. It is so okay to use your tarot deck to validate yourself and to use your tarot deck to validate your clients. Sometimes that's what we need, right? All right. So technically you could use oracle cards if you wanted for the different draws. Totally. Yeah. You can use some oracle, some tarot. I love tarot. I think that I can get much clearer, better readings from tarot cards because there's 78 of them and they cover so many different energies. There's very few oracle decks out there with 78 cards. And they're very thematic, right? So oracle cards are just different. They have these themes, and so they might not contain like a death card, like a transformation card. They might not contain like a Knight of Pentacles, which is about going slow and taking things at your own pace. So I personally love tarot so much that it is my primary for my readings. And then I like to add in an oracle card as well, because I just feel like tarot can give me, it's funny because when I learned tarot, it's because Kyle Gray said, I was taking an oracle card training, and Kyle Gray in this training said, I recommend if you're going to learn oracle, you should learn tarot. And I was like, why? First off, I was scared of tarot when he said that. I was like, oh, I love Kyle Gray. Is tarot okay? Is tarot not scary? So I got my first tarot deck and I started learning. And then I recognized, I was like, this is why he said that, because there's so many different energies that it's archetypal energies that encompass all of life. And so when you learn how to read tarot, you can go deeper into your oracle readings. Okay, next up, I find myself shuffling for each question and then drawing a card. That is exactly how I shuffle. I shuffle, I draw a card, I set it down. I ask the question. I ask the question, I shuffle, I draw a card. I ask the question, I shuffle, I draw a card. Or maybe I'm like asking one question and drawing 3 cards. So then I'll ask the question, I'll draw a card, shuffle, draw a card, shuffle, draw a card. There's no wrong way to shuffle. There's no wrong way to draw cards. The key is just to get as many random cards on the table as you're planning on pulling. So however you get them randomly is fine. What are some exercises that you can do to strengthen your intuition? That's an excellent question. I have quite a few in Magic and Intuition Mastery. Magic and Intuition Mastery is closed. I know you asked about that, Brandy. But basically, when it comes to intuition, it's all about consciously tuning in. So the number one exercise I recommend is daily meditation. And daily meditation doesn't have to be hard. Daily meditation can be breathing for 3 minutes, focusing on your breath for 3 minutes. I remember one of my teachers told me once that you can meditate at any time. And she had specifically said when you're washing your hands. And I love that, because if you're going to wash your hand for a couple of minutes, you can get lots of breaths in while you're washing your hands. And Eckhart Tolle says, one conscious breath is meditation. I repeated that every day on TikTok for years when I did my daily TikTok lives. One conscious breath is meditation. So everybody here, take a conscious breath. If you're watching the replay, take a conscious breath. You've just meditated, right? Getting more than one conscious breath is even better. But one conscious breath a day is meditation. This is the number one thing I recommend is presence and meditation. After that, I would say experimenting with different things. I love automatic writing. Automatic writing is the way that I absolutely love getting into my intuition. I've even put my feet in the pool and done automatic writing for like that extra boost of the like water energy. But yeah, I like automatic writing. You could do animal communications. You could do, I actually started my intuitive journey through intuitive eating. So that is a really great way to do. So intuitive eating plus meditation is how I started my journey, both at the same time. So that's another way. So it's really all about not only choosing a practice that you're going to test out, which is what we do in Magic and Intuition Mastery, but then you track it. So I have some trackers and things where once you've chosen a task, then you track it and you see how it goes. Maybe it's something simple like doing a reading with the tarot cards down. So you ask a question, put down like 3 tarot cards, and then you grab a piece of paper, don't look at the tarot cards, and you just tune into the first card and you write the message that you're feeling coming from that first card. You tune into the second card, write the message. Tune into the third card, write the message. Then you flip over all of the cards and then you notice how they match the messages that you brought through intuitively without the cards. That's a really fun one. That's something that I did at the beginning of my tarot journey too. That I thought was so fun. So it can be anything like that. Like it can be like picking a random number and then doing a random number generator online and seeing if you picked a similar number, seeing how often you pick the same number, going to those TikToks where they're hiding the crystal and you have to, guess the color. There's so many ways that you can use your intuitive abilities. And in the High Priestess Tarot School, we do have like the clairs. We talk about the 5 clairs and identifying which of yours is the most active. I definitely recommend to work on the one that's most active. So for me, I have a strong sense of knowing. So that's why automatic writing works so well for me. But if you're somebody who visualizes things, maybe meditation works better for you. So really looking at the things that you're strongest at and intensifying them. And then later on down the road, you might want to like increase the ones that aren't so strong. And that's perfectly fine too. But I think especially at the beginning, when you're really looking at increasing your intuition, it's all about being present with it, listening to it, doing card pulls, taking breaths during your card pulls, allowing yourself to be in stillness. This is such an important part of intuition. Yeah, I find it hard to meditate. I love using automatic writing instead, something about seeing yourself right from the heart. Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, for those of you who have a hard time meditating, just breathe. you don't have a hard time breathing, right? So just here's the thing. We think that we have to clear our mind. This is the biggest no. It's funny. I saw a monk, somebody who like literally that's all he does is meditate. He says the point isn't to clear your mind. He said the point is to notice the thoughts that are in there. So if you're somebody who thinks that you're bad at meditation because you're trying to clear your mind, you've been told a misnomer about meditation in the first place. You could notice the thoughts, but for me, it's all about being present. So I like to like rub my fingers together. I like to concentrate on my breath. I like to look at my cats. I like to look at their whiskers. I like to, if you have kids, you can like listen to them scream and play. That's presence, right? That is in the present moment. So anything that brings you into the present moment is meditation, breath, highly focused vision, hearing. All of your five senses can bring you into that present moment, and that is meditation. I know it all comes down to personal choice, but are there oracle cards that you can recommend? Honestly, when it comes to recommendations, I would say like, it depends on what you're looking for. So for example, my first one was Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. I met Rebecca Campbell one day. I thought she was amazing. I actually got to talk to her. I got to dance literally right next to her on stage. She had left cards on everybody who attended this. It was in London. It was a self-love summit. Everybody who attended got a card. I brought the card home and I was like, I want this deck. And then I was starting a business. So it was a really perfect deck for starting a business, Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. So when you think about a deck, think about what your next level is. What are you wanting to achieve? Where are you wanting to grow? And then pick your deck based off of that. So for example, if you're really wanting to learn more about crystals, you might get an oracle deck that is based on crystals. I have like a crystal spirits deck that's really good. If you are looking at animal symbolism, there's several really good animal decks out there. So think about where you're growing and what you want to learn when you're picking out an oracle deck too. When it comes to well-rounded decks, there's a lot. Colette Baron-Reid, I think, really has well-rounded decks that include a lot of really good energies into the same deck so that you can get well-rounded readings from them. She's one of my favorites in terms of deck makers for well-rounded decks, for like all purposes kind of. Yes, absolutely. I agree. There are a couple of her decks that I'm not, like Starseed, I don't love that one very much. And I hate the boxes of Rebecca Campbell's decks. I tend to pick up my decks from the top and they like every time. Like I don't even learn. I still do it. It's so true, Brandy. Okay, what rituals are important to do before reading to set the tone for enabling and using your intuition? Anything that makes you feel connected. So mindfulness practices are really good. Like I said, breathing, everything that I just said for intuition, being calm, connecting with your breath, anything that helps you feel in that moment. So like candles or incense, or I like to do a clearing spray sometimes, but I want to say none of them are important. What's important is for you to get into the right headspace, and whatever you need to do that is fine. But what I'd love to offer you guys is don't make the things the magic, because you guys are the magic. The magic lives within you. It's not in a candle. It's not in an incense. It's in you. So the tools, that's fine. They're tools to help you connect with that soul, that inner wisdom, that intuition, whatever you want to call it. Everything else is just tools to help you get there, right? So there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever is going to help you get into that space better. Meditation is perfect. Okay, so somebody says, I don't have the funds right now to purchase a deck. However, I'm using a free app called Tarot Simple. Is it possible to use app versus traditional deck of cards? Yeah, totally. I think using an app to pull cards is perfectly fine. Random cards are random cards, no matter how you get them. Next, when laying out and cards fall out, are those cards connected to the card already laid out? So this is another one of those personal practice sort of things. I personally tend to leave my flyers, I put them back in the deck. I figure if they're meant to come out, they'll come out again because I shuffle again, right? And then I pull. So I put my flyers back into my deck. I don't read them. Sometimes I'll feel really drawn to one and I'll leave it, but most of the time that doesn't happen. Most of the time I drop it, I feel like I was just sloppily doing my thing, and I just put it back in. But there are some people who only read with flyers, and that's totally okay. You can 100% decide ahead of time, how do you want to treat your fallout cards? Do you want to read with them? Are they like special messages for your reading? Are they a part of the reading? Are they connected to the one that you just laid out? That's totally up to you. If you wanted to try it that way for a while and see how it works, that's fine. The fact that you're asking that question could mean that your intuition was drawing you towards that. Like, this is in addition to the last one, right? So feel free to read however you want. If you feel an intuitive pull, read it that way. Try it. The only way we understand our own intuitive practice is to try lots of different things. How can I continue this journey of self-discovery? So we talked about SVS, Sacred Vision Society. We talked about Tarot Mastery Circle. We even talked a little bit about High Priestess Tarot School. That's what I have available for you guys right now. But for those who don't have the funds, or for those who don't want a structured way to do it, I think I definitely laid out those steps. And part of the reason for that is so that you can see what steps you need to take. I teach you how to label your cards with a keyword. So what I do is I teach you, let me stop sharing. I teach you how to put a keyword on each card. You can do it with a Sharpie. You can do it like I did with washi tape. There's lots of different methods you can do it. But this is what I teach because this is what worked for me. You'll never need another guidebook again. This doesn't mean you won't use it. I use my guidebooks. I have the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. I love it. The guidebook is so good on it. It adds to the meanings of the cards that I already have. So allow yourself to buy decks that stretch you. But so anyway, when I first started, I labeled the High Priestess Intuition. So when I pulled this card, I knew it was an invitation to tap into my intuition. And then over time, I started to grow my relationship with the High Priestess. She means so much more, right? She could mean intuitive insight. She could mean that I have not been in stillness enough, that I've been too busy, right? So you'll start to notice your relationship with the card growing more and more as you go. But at the beginning, having the one keyword allows us so much more space, especially for the people who feel like you read in the book and there's like 6 different things it could mean. And you're like, I don't know what this means. Like, especially if you feel really overwhelmed by that, one keyword is really good. We've had students put 2 or 3 keywords on their cards. There's nothing wrong with that either. We've had students that put reversals on their cards. There's nothing wrong with that either. However, if you're someone who gets overwhelmed, you may want to consider one. So label your deck, journal on your deck. So the next step that we do after learning or labeling your deck in the High Priestess Tarot School is I have a journal. You guys can get it on Amazon if you're not in the membership, or there's a digital copy in the course. But then you journal on each and every one. Ask yourself, what does this keyword mean to me, right? So recognition. What does recognition mean to you? Maybe you get really scared of being recognized. Maybe you feel like you don't like to be in the spotlight and it makes you uncomfortable. Journal about that. Journal about what advice you might have given yourself when you needed this card. Right? So maybe like you weren't celebrating yourself for all of the amazing things you were doing. Journal about it. So when you sit down and you dive into each of the cards and you start to build that relationship with them, you're going to start having more and more ways that you relate to them. So journal. This is a huge part of the High Priestess Tarot School in terms of action steps. So label your cards, journal on your cards, understand your cards better. Use spreads, use power questions. I also have a free 225 power questions. I'll also get you guys like 20 power questions before the end of this challenge so that you'll have a few to use. And so use power questions, use spreads. This helps so much. I honestly think that it is a pivotal part. Get a lot of practice too. So like we have all of these steps here. But those are the things that I would say is it's about labeling your cards, understanding the difference between these, labeling your cards, and then starting to develop that relationship with your cards. So that was how do we continue this journey? So that was my last question. Do you guys have any more questions before we wrap up for today? That was the last question. And also too, like if you're not going to join something that I'm putting on like SVS or Tarot Mastery Center or the High Priestess Tarot School, the Tarot Mastery Circle, join groups about tarot, groups about whatever your next step is in your evolution, whether that's a Facebook group or another community. Find community. I think it's so important. Vanessa says I only read with flyers. Yep. If lots come out, I use my intuition to decide if to put it back or to choose how many to use. Yeah. You're so welcome, Brandy. You're so welcome, Diana. Any last questions before we wrap up for today? Thanks for being here. Like I said, quick reminder, tomorrow we have the spreads training. I'll talk about how to create spreads that create transformation. And I'll be talking about how to use ChatGPT to help you brainstorm those. I never use ChatGPT to just write my spreads for me. I always just use it to brainstorm questions or to write questions that sound better than what I would write. You're so welcome. You're welcome, guys. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. You're welcome. Bye.